Welcome to the 7th Annual Overcoming Obstacles Luncheon. Coming to you virtually with your host, Deborah Duncan, field reporter, Joe Francisco, featuring community partner honoree, Amegy Bank. Today's show is presented by GeoSouthern Energy Partners.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Deborah Duncan, the host of Great Day Houston, and it is a great day when we can celebrate helping our neighbors. I'm honored to host this year's special presentation of MAM's Overcoming Obstacles annual event. Since 1983, MAM has been the go-to place in Northwest Houston for families living in poverty, experiencing a financial crisis. Known for their supportive staff and volunteers, families can access a variety of programs designed to move them from a place of crisis to stability. MAM is also a place where the entire community comes together to enrich each other's lives. Whether you're a client, staff member, volunteer, shopper, that's me, or donor, MAM has something for everyone. We have some great fun in store for you today. But first, many of us have had a moment in life where we had to ask for help. I'd like you to meet a couple of MAM clients who bravely reached out and can share how the services they received helped them to overcome the obstacles they faced.
I was born here in Houston, graduated with a degree with anthropology and classical history. Ended up taking, a few jobs after college and was unfortunately laid off and coming into a different economic situation and job market. When I talked to Colleen over here at MAM, she said, well, if you're looking for a job, why don't you look at our employment services program? It's been so great since then. MAM doesn't just offer employment services in terms of coaching on how to do your interviews or how to write your resume, but also coaching you on how to present yourself and also your outlook on life. Let's further your education right now. Let's look for other job opportunities that could be even better than what you had. I can connect with them at any point and they'll never turn me down, even when I have a job. And they constantly work with you to make sure that if there's anything you need from them, that you can talk to them about it. I've been more financially stable because of the coaching I've gotten. And that makes me very proud of myself to know that I can go from rock bottom and have my first apartment. I don't think anyone here realizes how much of an impact you guys have made on our lives. Not only me, but everyone who comes through these doors. And I don't know what I would do without MAM.
After the very difficult political and economical situation that Venezuela, my country, had, my husband and I decided to move with our two daughters to Houston in 2019, where really was very difficult situation because my husband has more than 20 years of experience on chemistry, and also I was working as a production engineer. But at the beginning, we have to work doing a lot of things like housekeeper, babysitter, selling Venezuelan food. At that moment, we didn't have enough money to receive English classes. We found MAM Literacy Advanced English program that was an extraordinary opportunity to us, and I think that it would be very difficult without the help that MAM have been giving and continue giving to my family. The Literacy Advanced English programs that made me feel very motivated. My English skill go ahead very, very fast and made me feel stronger and made me feel that it was possible that I can learn this amazing language. Also, I received the employment service, giving me tools how to be more confident as a professional. My husband and I, because the COVID, we lost our job. So they are helping us with our bills and services. They are letting us get access to information how to create our own company. So we're very excited because we want to produce cleaning products for industrial use. I feel very confident about my future in this city, also create my own company and reach my goal of provide to my family better opportunity in this country.
Every day, people go to MAM for help with so many things. Learning English, creating a resume, or building a budget so they can better take care of their family. We're lucky that people dealing with tough challenges can turn to a place like MAM. Joining us with more is MAM's president and CEO, Sonia G.
Hello, Deborah. Thank you for hosting MAM's Overcoming Obstacles special event, and welcome to everyone who's joined us online today. I hope you enjoyed seeing a glimpse of how MAM's programs have such a life-changing impact. I've met so many amazing people at MAM, and none are more inspiring than the families who put their trust in us to help them every day. I'm sure we can all remember a time when we had an obstacle in front of us so large that we needed to ask for help. Thankfully, most of us have family and friends that we can call and lean on, but where would you go if you had nowhere to turn? Imagine you're the father who's come to MAM, no longer able to pay the rent because your wife is sick and the medical bills cut into the rent money, and the rent money cut into the food money. You drive around the parking lot trying to build up the courage to walk inside and ask for help. These are the hardworking people that MAM serves every day. At MAM, we believe everyone should be treated with dignity and respect. We believe each person has value and personal assets, and the entire community benefits when we all have a way to contribute. We believe families are resilient and can be advocates for their own change if armed with the skills and resources to do so. We also know that everyone faces challenges, and we believe that no one should have to face them alone. And that's what MAM is here for. 2020 has challenged us all. MAM began the year caring for families who lived in the neighborhood that was rocked by the Watson chemical plant explosion. Our hearts ached for the parents who ran through their homes in the middle of the night, searching through broken glass and rubble for their children, not even knowing what was going on. Volunteers and donors partnered with us to help these families regain stability and begin to rebuild their lives. Not long after, COVID-19 attacked our world, impacting the livelihoods of so many families in our community who are now facing even greater challenges than before with health, employment, housing, and food uncertainties. MAM has already been a beacon of hope, helping thousands of families, yet there are still hundreds of people contacting us every week for help. The need is overwhelming. Yes, MAM helps families overcome their immediate challenges, but we know this support is only sustainable if we can help our community build skills and resources to provide for their families in the future. We can do this, but we can't do it without you, because MAM is only as strong as the sum of all of our work together. MAM is a platform for loving our neighbors as ourselves, the mission arm of many of our local faith communities. MAM is the place where compassionate volunteers and staff work together with families engaged in relevant, impactful programs. MAM is a resale store where volunteers and donors come together to generate critical revenue for our programs. MAM is the place where you can give and trust that your support is helping a family gain stability today and build the skills, resources, and courage they need to ensure a better tomorrow. We appreciate all of you and thank you for taking the time to learn more about MAM today.
Thank you, Sonia. Your first year at MAM was filled with a lot of challenges, and you rose to meet them with grace and grit. There are so many people involved in making MAM programs available to our Houston residents. Beyond the staff, volunteers keep the resale store running. Others teach ESL, coach clients, and also provide encouragement. All generous people who give their time to help others. Let's go to Joe Francisco. He's in MAM's donation center.
Hey, thank you, Deborah. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm down at the MAM campus on Blaylock. And did you know that MAM helps out nearly 9,000 families every year? And it takes a community to make that happen. There are hundreds of volunteers, whether it's the MAM resale store or through client programs, and we're always looking for more. I'm in the MAM warehouse right now, and behind me there are plenty of volunteers already working hard, whether they're sorting donations or pricing donations that are shortly going to go into the store for sale. Some of MAM's volunteers come from local congregations, while others come from every corner of our community. Young and old, everyone's drawn to MAM to help support each other. There are so many ways to get involved. Does your family do volunteer work, or do you want to spend 3 hours or more per week helping out? We've got a place for you. There's a volunteer job for everyone, no matter your interest. Just this morning, I saw people making floral centerpieces, hanging artwork, dressing mannequins, sorting holiday decorations, organizing clothes and books, and even playing with toys. You can teach a class or even coach clients. Any of these jobs can be yours. So check out the website on the screen for more information on how to become a MAM volunteer today. Back to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Joe. It's so rewarding to serve as a volunteer. MAM is counting down its 40th anniversary, which will take place in 2023. Here to begin that countdown is MAM's 37th board chair, Chris Chandler.
Thank you, Deborah. I am at the Amegy Bank campus on the West Loop, and it is truly my pleasure to be speaking with Steve Stevens, Chief Executive Officer, and Brian Stoker, Executive Vice President and Community Banking Manager at Amegy Bank. There is so much shared history between Amegy Bank and Memorial Assistance Ministries. We also have a shared mission of helping underserved communities be able to make good financial decisions through financial literacy programs. Amegy has given MAM grants for our financial education program for the past 4 years, as well as sponsoring our luncheon since its inception. Steve, why is community giving so important to Amegy?
Well, thanks, Chris. First, it's proven over time that a bank is only as good and prosperous as the communities that it serves. Each year, Amegy Bank gives over $1 million to various organizations in our communities. What's even more special about MAM is their ability to provide financial literacy training to many families that are on the path to self-sustaining lives. We're very pleased to be able to support MAM in those activities.
Let's talk about what's happening with the pandemic and the special help needed there. Amegy helped MAM through the process of applying for a Paycheck Protection Program loan so we could keep the doors open to serve the thousands of people who needed help. Then, recently, MAM was asked to distribute over $2 million in COVID assistance provided by local agencies. It was a challenge, but Amegy stepped up and really helped us find a way to get that money into the hands of the people who needed it the most. Brian, can you share more about how your team was able to help with this monumental task?
Well, sure, Chris. Thank you. Number one, it's been really a privilege for Amegy Bank and me personally to work with Memorial Assistance Ministries over the last 15 years. They're an award-winning and basically a debt-free organization that does quality work in the community. We were able to help Memorial Assistance Ministries with a payroll protection loan as well. Regarding the $2 million that the Memorial Assistance Ministries received to help their clients, what was a really particular interest to them was that their clients be able to cash their checks at no charge. A lot of their clients are unbanked or underbanked, and so to go cash a check that they were receiving to help them either buy food or rent or both, they did not want to have a 5 or 7% check cashing charge that they would normally receive at a check cashing organization. So Amegy stepped up, said, look, your clients are our clients, and we'll help you cash all those checks free at any of our branches. So if someone has a check that they're not banking with Amegy, tell them to come in and we'll cash it for free.
Brian, thanks so much. To be able to help our clients get the money that they were granted without excessive fees is much appreciated, and we really, really like how Amegy stepped up to help make that happen. I think it's appropriate we're having this conversation today in your offices because we also have a connected history with MAM's building as well. In the early 2000s, MAM was operating out of a strip mall and frankly had reached its capacity to help the community. We were really at a crossroads and we needed to purchase land and build a space that would be large enough for our needs at the time. Today, we want to recognize Amegy Bank for making the bold move of lending $1.5 million so MAM could build its own facility and chart a course for the future of our community. Steve, how did that loan come about?
Well, it was an interesting story, and it starts with MAM having some very persuasive advocates in the early years, led by Gordon Bing. At the same time, Brian Stoker was out on the site looking at the property, and he actually experienced all the different steps. So I'd like for Brian to highlight some of those challenges along the way. Brian.
Well, in 2004, Memorial Assistance needed to buy the land, of course, and they found a good piece of property, about 3.8 acres. we saw a lot of potential there for what Memorial Assistance Ministries brings to the community. And so with a little bit of hope and a little bit of structure and some very involved churches, we made a loan to help out on the land purchase. And then a little bit later, they got some nice foundations to come in and help out as well. And then we did about a 6 times larger loan to do the construction and the permanent on the building. And all along, it was just such a pleasure working with Memorial Assistance Ministries and a great builder that did a good job on keeping everybody appraised and keeping the timeline on time at all times.
MAM is actually one of the top-rated United Way family assistance agencies. And that's important when you have a crisis like Hurricane Harvey, currently COVID-19. We know that MAM can get those funds out to the folks that are most in need. Furthermore, they enjoy great, financial standing and transparency. They have a several-year highest rating with the Charity Navigator. So we're very, very proud of MAM.
Steve, Brian, thank you both, and thank you to Amegy Bank for helping MAM establish its facility on Blaylock. We couldn't have done it without you, and couldn't have done it without some of our key supporters at the time, like Gordon Bing and Greg Nelson and Platt Davis and David Weekly. I'll tell you, we've not only purchased the land on Blaylock, we've built the facility, we've expanded the facility, we've paid off our loan, and you know what? We're nearly full again. We're nearly at our capacity to help people in the community. So we might be giving you a call, Amegy Bank.
Well, Chris, you and MAM are welcome anytime. Stop by or Zoom in.
Well, that's great. We know where to find you. Before we wrap up, I'd like to know a little bit about what MAM means to each of you personally and how you became initially connected with MAM. Brian, how about you?
What really struck me originally was the board of this organization was tremendously strong. I mean, they had people that were very high up in attorney groups and CPA groups, and they were all jumped in initially and really helped. And really, I had really got a big bond for a number of years with the executive director. We became really good friends. And so that's important. And personally, I've shopped there a few times. They call me sometimes when they have cufflinks because they have them behind the jewelry counter, and I go buy them.
That's great to hear. I've enjoyed shopping in the resale store as well. So, Steve, how about you?
Well, my history really goes back actually to the 60s and 70s. I grew up in Spring Branch, and I actually graduated from Northbrook High School. So I've witnessed the community change over the years. So it was appropriate that an organization like MAM could come along. And part of the ways that we've been able to support MAM is that all 3 of my sons have volunteered in the warehouses. I try to get them to do that in August at the hottest time of the year to learn responsibility, but I've also had actually family members in need who have benefited from the computer training and other services. So MAM's been very holistic in my life, and I really appreciate all that they've done.
Well, Steve and Brian, thank you. It's great to hear your personal connection to MAM in addition to your connection to MAM through Amegy Bank. I'd like to recognize and honor Amegy Bank as MAM's valued community partner. Thank you for your partnership with MAM and your service to the Houston community. Steve, Brian, thank you again for being with us today. And now back to you, Deborah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Every nonprofit relies on great community partnerships. When you look at the foundational support MAM has received since the early days, it's easy to see why they have the trust of our community. A large part of MAM's contribution to the community happens in one of my favorite places, the resale store. Donations can be passed directly to families in need or sold in the store to provide resources for programs. And I believe Joe is in the resale store right now. Joe? Excuse us, Joe?
Oh, hey, Deborah. You never know what you're going to find at MAM. So the best part about shopping at MAM Resale is the ability to purchase with a purpose. Now, in a non-COVID year, MAM Resale brings in nearly $2 million to help fund MAM programs. But this year, we had to shut our doors physically, took everything online virtually through Facebook. So we brought the store right to your home. Now, it takes a lot to stock a store this big, so if you want to donate, just bring your items to the store, to the donation center. Somebody's going to pop out. They'll pull the items from your car. You don't have to leave your car. You'll get to go home with a receipt, and it's easy as that. So the other big part about this is the ability for client families to shop in the store with vouchers. Many of the employment service graduates have shopped for their interview clothes in the store, and when the Watson explosion destroyed homes, lots of houseware items were donated to families. But it's not just clients who shop at MAM. Did you know they have an in-store boutique with designer clothes? A lot of collectors find deals of a lifetime here. Whether you're thrifty or crafty or plain looking for a great deal, you can shop at MAM. Visit the website link below to shop online or find MAM Resale on Facebook. Supporting the MAM Resale store through shopping and donating is a great way to support MAM programs. Gotta go, Deborah. Just saw something else.
I'm not sure if we're going to see Joe again. I'll run into him at the store, I'm sure, because I saw some stuff I gotta have. Right price and for a great cause. That makes it priceless. Thanks, Joe, for the behind-the-scenes glimpse at MAM and how they support our community. And speaking of support, we absolutely need your support. MAM has great sponsors who make the event possible. I hope you saw their names scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Before we leave today, we want to mention the stars of the show, MAM clients, people who work hard to make positive change by facing and overcoming obstacles that have held them back. We know that being able to keep a family safely housed is critical. It's the programs they access at MAM after that crisis that can keep a family safe and secure in the future. The secret sauce is empowerment. Sonia G. shared how MAM believes nobody should have to face their obstacles alone. We absolutely need your support. We hope you enjoyed your time with us today. Thank you, MAM, for being a mainstay in our community. Be generous, everyone, with your time, talent, and treasure. We'll put it all to good use. Have a great day.